Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
Woke and Free.
Thank you for tuning in to our 49th episode of Woke and Free. If you've been tuning in every week for Woke and Free Wednesday, you know that Woke and Free is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We are talking about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, and the world, and nothing is off the table. In this episode, we're talking all about the importance of what we put on our bodies with our special guest, Lisa Wertz, the owner and founder of Coco Me LLC. But before we dive deep into the subject, we have a couple of ground rules to cover. First, have you subscribed to Woke and Free on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio? If not, please do. We greatly appreciate your support of the show. And you can also go to wokenfree.com to see where all of the different platforms that the show is on. Have you shared an episode with friends or family? If not, this might be a great episode to share. So please do. Sharing is caring. And always feel free to reach out to us on social media. You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Woke and Free. And then lastly, we'd love for you to review the show. We greatly appreciate your feedback. So again, go to wokenfree.com, pick the platform of choice that you want to review us on, and also feel free to give us a review on social media as well.
As the Woke and Free Nation knows, each week we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week we shared one business tip you've applied to your personal life. This week, we're going to share what's one place on earth you would live for the rest of your life.
I mean, for me, I haven't lived too many different places. I'm a, New Yorker, true and true. So my answer would be anywhere not New York.
Wow, that's non-specific and general.
I do try. So being born and raised in Manhattan, I have always known that I would travel the world like many of my relatives have and continue to do so. So I just think that being that I'm from here and I live here, if I had to pick somewhere else on the earth to live or somewhere on the earth to live forever, I can't imagine living forever in a place that I also was born in. So that's why I say anywhere but New York. But Listen, I haven't traveled enough to be able to pinpoint another place. I have some superstitions that I think I would love Arizona, but, I don't want to blow people's minds too much. But how about you?
But you also forgot to mention you like the Bermuda Triangle.
No, I don't.
That's one place you wanted to visit.
Nope.
You want to fly through it and see if it's real.
That's
that's
complete
off of there?
false information.
All right,
being
you changed your mind. Okay. So for me, my place is actually a real special place. Most people haven't been there. It's Atlantis, and that's because it's under the sea. It's the lost city of the ancient world, and that's the one place I'd like to live on the planet.
Oh, so I thought we were supposed
underwater.
to be giving real answers to this, but okay, that's interesting.
But at least mine is very specific, I'd say.
Okay, so scratch that. Mine would be
Pluto. It could be.
No, I think I would
live it's on
where
it has to be on Earth, so no, that doesn't work.
I guess would Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings constitute?
It's not on Earth. No, it has to be on Earth.
Well, it says Middle Earth, so
that's in the middle of nowhere. You got to pick some place. See, I picked a place that's probably on planet Earth. It might be there. The long lost city of Atlantis.
Well,
might be.
I'll keep with New York, not New York then.
Or you can even just say like an ancient city that's been lost, like.
Oh, my bad. Wakanda. Thank you.
Okay. There you go. That's a great place to live.
Wakanda forever.
I didn't think of that one. That's a good one. It'd be between Wakanda and Atlantis, but I might do Atlantis because that's just cool to live under the sea and play with Megalodon.
Or live with your people that look like you, who are actually prospering and are happy in their authentic selves. No.
Yeah, so
too much happiness.
I'm gonna leave Aquaman down there really lonely, right? He's gonna have nobody to talk to.
In exchange for a prosperous black community, yes.
I want to talk to Aquaman. I want to talk to the mermaid people. And I want to talk to Megalodon and ride on its back.
Too many movie references, guys. Too many movie references. With that, I think it's time to jump into actually what we plan to talk about today.
Oh, wow.
Instead of this diatribe
You
of
think
madness.
we're way off topic there?
Yeah, I think we diverged into a world of silliness. And so
you're going to have to try to tie this back into our topic at hand.
Yeah, so we're going to have to talk about today, right, the purpose of, or the conscientiousness of what we're putting on our bodies. Lisa Wertz is the owner and founder of CocoMe LLC, which is the maker of CocoMe Body Stick. And she started CocoMe in 2013 and has been obsessed with coconut oil and healthy skincare ever since. She's a teacher, entrepreneur, wife, mother of two, and she lives in Westchester, New York with her family, another fellow New Yorker. So with that, let's get to our conversation with Lisa.
Before we jump into questions about your business, each week on our podcast, we like to have a personal share. And this week, what we'd like to ask you is, what's one place on earth you would live for the rest of your life?
Oh my gosh.
Only one place you can choose from.
I can only choose one place on earth for the rest of my life. Oh, that's a tough one because there's so many places I want to go that I haven't been, so I don't feel uninformed. Well, I think, one thing that I really did enjoy doing was on a trip that I went to, out west recently. I think I could live in the American West for the rest of my life. It's just so beautiful and fresh, and I just love it out there. And I feel like it's new, and living in New York, it's the oldest part of the country. Some of the areas where we live around here, and something about being out west where it feels a little bit more frontierish, but also edgy and smart and sophisticated. And I think I would be really happy living there. There's everything you need: a lot of culture, a lot of accessibility, and the weather's great. And you can have a convertible. So what's not to love?
Love it. Very nice. All right, very cool. And then with that, since we started off deep, the next question that I had in mind would be to learn, for you to share with Woken Free Nation, how did CocoMe Body Stick come to be?
Okay, so it's a very everyday story, really. I had a baby girl, my first child, and I was busy preparing one night for some friends coming over, and I thought she was fine, and I didn't really realize that she had crawled over to the basket where I keep all my personal toiletry items and stuff, and she pulled out my deodorant and started playing with it, and she put it in her mouth, and she took a bite out of it. And I kind of walked into the room just in time to see her dropping the container, and I see this bite, and I was freaking out, and I picked her up, and I'm quick looking on my fridge, where's that poison control sticker? I know I have here somewhere. And and thankfully I got the whole chunk out of her mouth, and I wiped it out, and we washed, and she was fine. She was totally fine. She hadn't ingested any of the deodorant, but that got me kind of really paying attention to where I put things in my home, and then also labels. What is this thing that I'm putting on a very sensitive part of my skin every single day? That's so bad that if my daughter were to, put some of it in her mouth, it's a real emergency. It's a really big problem. So that's kind of where I started looking into living a more holistic and natural lifestyle, wanting to educate myself on how your skin is your body's largest gland, and everything that you put on your skin gets absorbed into it. And thinking about natural skincare products as well as other natural products around my home and the foods that I eat. So that's how my journey to find coconut oil, the best thing for your skin, began, is with this story with my daughter. And so I tried different things, and there are lots of other things. I had my one friend said she actually worries about the same thing, and she uses olive oil on her skin, which I thought would be very sticky and didn't want to do that. And, I tried other kinds of butters and different store lotions that said they were natural, said they were organic, and I would always flip it around and look at the ingredients and find things that I didn't know what they were. So that kind of, I don't know, that's not really what I was looking for. And then at the time, coconut oil was really starting to become a little bit more mainstream. I know people have been using it for centuries, but I didn't know anything about it, and tried it and loved it. It completely transformed your skin. And I loved it, and I put it everywhere, and I had this, my jar of coconut oil from Trader Joe's on my dresser, and, I'd slather it on after a shower. But the only problem with it is that it's like incredibly messy, and it melts at room temp. Yeah, it melts at room temperature, let alone like melts at around, I think, 90 degrees or so. So as soon as you touch it, it starts to liquefy, and it makes this terrible mess on your carpet when you're trying to put coconut. I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, if this were in a stick, it'd be so much easier." And one night I got frustrated enough, I took one of my old deodorant containers and I liquefied some coconut oil and I stuck it in my freezer. I poured it in and I stuck it in my freezer. And that was how the first body stick was invented. It was just coconut oil frozen into a deodorant stick.
Wow. Oh, wow. Very cool.
Interesting.
And so I was using that for some time, and I would just keep, refilling it and trying various different deodorant containers. And, I told my mom, I was like, "What are you doing? What is this ridiculous thing in your freezer?" And, I started thinking, if I'm looking for coconut oil in a stick, other people might be too, but you can't sell it that way because it melts too easily. So you have to have something to help to raise the melting point. And you also I wanted to put something in there that would enhance the effectiveness of the coconut oil. And that's when another journey began of experimenting in my kitchen with, okay, well, what can I combine a little bit of with the coconut oil that I love so much so that I can have it in this tube and I could take it with me and I could travel and maybe even someday people might like to buy it. And so we tried all different things. It became pretty clear pretty soon that wax was a good way to go, but it was really important that it be just the right wax and the consistency and also be organic and also bring to the table some other kind of benefit. So we ended up settling on organic beeswax, and it was really a match made in heaven because it's just a pinch of the beeswax in there, just the right ratio, mixed just at the right time, and you end up with this like velvety smooth stick of coconut oil with just enough wax so that it seals in the oil and lets it really absorb into your skin. You don't feel sticky. And the beeswax itself is another ancient healing balm, which people have used forever and has its own moisturizing properties as well. So that's how the combination came together. And, I just kind of started asking people if they liked this idea. I made some samples. I did a Survey Monkey activity with a mommy stroller strides group that I belonged to at the time, and gave out samples and asked people to tell me what they thought, and people were very, very kind and did that for me, and I got some great information, and that's kind of how the whole thing got started. So.
I love it. And also, just to add to that, did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or on this journey of finding a product that worked for you, then it I guess ignited the entrepreneurial spirit inside of you?
Actually, I'm a teacher by trade. I never, ever had it on my radar to be an entrepreneur. But total shocker. But I was home when I had my first child. I stayed home for a bit with her and found myself really, really grappling with postpartum depression. And I wish it were more of a joyful time, but it was a really hard time for me. And finding this business and starting it and this project and learning about these things and trying to just keep pushing forward and improve my life, kind of crawled my way out of this funk that I was in. And so that's sort of how that happened, by total accident, and it ended up really helping me in return. And so that's how that got started.
Okay, so you've mentioned you can use the coconut oil on your skin as a kind of like lotion. Are there any other benefits to using coconut oil-based products?
Well, you can. Well, it's of course for moisturizing your skin. You can use it anywhere on your body. It's great for babies. It's great for if you've got like a little bit of psoriasis, for some really dry patches, like those callousy spots on your body.
Okay.
That's what it's ideal for. You can put it in your hair. You can put, one of the best uses is when you get one of those winter colds and you're blowing your nose so much and you get a horrible chapped skin under your nose. This is the best thing for that awful spot. Yeah, but coconut oil itself, basically, there's been so much press about all the ways that you can use coconut oil from cooking, and you could actually take a bite out of the stick if you wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah, from cooking to shining your shoes to removing stains. We just had a great video post up on YouTube with a performance artist with her, really thick stage makeup all over her face, and in like a minute she put the body stick on and just it wiped right off. And those kinds of uses, and actually our customers are constantly educating us about new ways that they're using it. So it's a very, very versatile product, but of course its primary use for our brand is for the skincare.
Okay. So you mentioned psoriasis, but also what about eczema? Does that work as well?
It's very soothing on eczema. I'm not an eczema sufferer myself, but my brother is, and my nephew is, and a lot of our users are, and it is very soothing on eczema, as the research on coconut oil indicates as well, which can be found on our website. Wonderful. But I always recommend people try a little spot on themselves because everyone's a little bit different.
Okay, great. And since you mentioned it, for people tuning in, what is the website?
Oh, it's CocoMeBodyStick.com.
Perfect. Okay. And so when it comes to body products, what would you say are common mistakes that shoppers or consumers are making?
Well, I think it's very, very tempting to go for the bargain brand for some customers, and that's fine. Everyone, has a budget that they're working on, but it depends what the consumer wants. I think that a lot of consumers walk into a trap of thinking that they're buying something that is natural, that is organic. I mean, or if it's says organic, it's probably organic, but they're thinking it's all natural. Well, petroleum is natural, and it comes from gas, which is also natural, but do you want it on your skin? I think that people end up buying a lot of products, which, they're natural, but is it the kind of natural that you want on you? And are you flipping over that product and reading what those ingredients really are, what's in there? Are there dyes? Are there, other things? Are there minerals, which also come from petroleum? Are there, what's in there? Where is it coming from? Where's the source? And packaging is very alluring. You have this beautiful package with leaves and berries and birds on it. Like, how could that be wrong? But, you flip it over and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't seem natural. So I think that's a trap. I think that's a trap for people who want to be putting healthy things on their skin, and they think that they are, but people should really double check and be sure.
Absolutely. I personally definitely can attest to that. I hate when I pick up something, Khalil's always like, this is cancer, Natasha. Like, because on the front, I'm like, look, it's organic. And then he's like, and it's also filled with cancer.
Well, yeah, they have terrible additives. Like,
I get caught out there all the time because I'm like, look, it says it on the front. And he's like, turn it around.
It's so beautiful. How could it be bad?
I know. It's like, no, look, it's gluten-free.
Well, they try to use like buzzwords on a lot of these products, and they don't tell you what else they're putting in. So that's what I've noticed.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. So I think that is one. I guess you could call it a trap for people who are trying to be conscious about this sort of thing. You have people who aren't interested in that, and they're not trapped because they're not interested. But for people who are really trying to, put some good quality things onto their skin, you really have to read the labels and look things up. Without Google, what is that word in Latin that I don't know?
Exactly.
Like that kind of thing.
Now, do you think there's like an increase of the demand for natural-based products, and why is that happening? What's causing that?
I definitely think that there's a huge demand for natural products just because people are more aware. People are more educated. Information is so available to all of us as it should be. And people are reading and they're learning. And I think everybody naturally wants the best for themselves. And, you know, when you hear things and hear it on the news, when you hear your friends talking about it, when you go into the store and you see this new wave of different kinds of products coming through, people are paying attention. They're starting to be like, oh, you know, wait a minute, I guess I am putting things on my skin. And people are such, they're just much more educated consumers these days. You know, they can look things up. You can't, you know, you can't be anywhere and not be able to access the information that you want, which is incredibly empowering for people who are out in the marketplace wanting to buy things. And I think that they are going more towards natural products because they're being more health conscious, which is great.
Absolutely. Okay. And personally, you know, I would love to hear, or we would love to hear what are the personal benefits that you've received from starting this journey and creating the Cocoa Me body stick and also lip balm that you offer.
That's a tough one to answer because there are so many things I've gotten on many personal levels. You know, it's incredibly rewarding to have an idea, a thought, and take a chance and try it and, you know, invest in yourself and in your idea and see people like it and think it's good too and want to buy it and want to, you know, talk to other people about how great they think it is. And that is unbelievable and very humbling. And there's nothing more fun than going to a trade show or somewhere and, you know, being with people who are using it and trying it or experiencing it for the first time. And they're like, oh, wow. And it's always great, too, when you get those few people now, especially in New York, who don't know what coconut oil is or aren't that familiar or have kind of heard about it but haven't interacted much with it. And they're always like, oh, wow, what is this? It's really nice. And to think that, you know, I might be having a hand in helping this person make a great choice for their skin is really rewarding. It's great. And they'll choose to meet wonderful people and what it feels like to, you know, try things and it doesn't work out, and then you want to do something and you don't have the money and you have to figure out how to make that work and go a different route. It just tests your agility as a person, your ability to adapt, and it makes you stronger. So that's what I've gotten from it.
Wonderful.
Well, what's been the feedback that you've been getting from customers using your products?
I get overwhelmingly wonderful feedback for a product that is so simplistic, really. You know, it's in honesty, it isn't anything that any other person can't, you know, try to figure out how to do themselves. But you know, we're bringing it to them with the perfect blend, the perfect choice ingredients, amazing packaging, you know, versatility in use, putting it in the stick for them. And it's kind of like, you know, the jar of tomato sauce. Like, yeah, I mean, anybody can make tomato sauce, but who's going to do that? I mean, a lot of people do, but it takes a lot of time. And you know what? You know, it's not an everyday choice for most people. So the feedback that we get is, I think, really, really interesting. People are saying, oh, the stick is so convenient. Now I'm not getting coconut oil over my shower. Oh, I love that I can throw it into the beach bag because, you know, after a day on the sand, I use it to make my skin feel like, and the feedback has been great. And people are constantly coming up with different ways that they're using it that I wouldn't have thought of. I have people using it on their pets. We've got people using it on their scalps. We have people using it on burns, on bug bites. Yeah, as bug repellent. We have people using it as personal lubricant. I mean, there's just like a million uses for it.
That's a good tip for the Woken Free Nation.
Yes, for the Woken Free Nation. Just be careful because it is an oil-based product. So, disclaimer.
Wow. Oh my, that was wonderful. That was a wonderful tip. That's amazing. Now with the pets though, what our dog actually has a dry spot on his arm. Are you
Hmm.
suggesting that it could be used for that? We could just put a little bit on there for him and he'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly
Love it.
Good
it's
idea.
just the coconut oil and the beeswax. Yeah, feel free to use
Wow.
it on your pet. Try it on a little spot if you're, if you're not used to choosing on your own things to put on your pet, and usually consult your vet, but
Hmm.
it's great for everyone.
We're gonna try it, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
give it a
we're gonna
shot,
see how
yeah.
JJ likes it. That's awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, what advice do you have for the Woken Free Nation who might be interested in starting a business themselves and getting into the beauty space?
Hmm.
Mm. Well, I think probably my first bit of advice is don't give up on your ideas. Don't.
Mm.
It sounds like a corny, cheesy thing, but it's really important to remember that because the second you put yourself out there, you're going to get some negativity back. It's just the way
Hmm.
the world works. And, you have to be willing to push through that and believe like, no, I think this is good. I think this is good. Listen to opinions, listen to ideas, take advice, be agile, you know, um, be willing to be open-minded about things, but don't give up. Don't get knocked down because you are going to get knocked down. There's going to be a huge problem that's going to come your way, and you're going to have to figure out how to do it. But when you're starting your own business, it's yours. It's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can, you know, make it anything that you don't want it to be. And it's incredibly empowering. And I think it's a wonderful thing for people to do, to experience, to get to, of course, better their own lives, provide for their families, for themselves. Even if you're a mom at home and you're just looking for, some cool way to get your bracelets out there and make some money for a vacation, or if you're, in a job that you don't like and you've got this great idea and you really want to give it your all, like, figure out some way to work in that direction and just keep working at it, keep working at it. And they're just, be prepared. You're going to get smacked down again and again and again and again. You just have to keep getting back up.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
my
you're
only
right.
bit of advice.
Absolutely. I was just actually doing some content about that, and I was saying, yeah, for me, I think when I think of entrepreneur like myself and you, I think of the word fortitude, right? Because
Yeah.
if you ever give up on yourself, it's as if you're living less than, and you owe it to yourself to see something through. You owe it to yourself to be as hungry as possible and to be as determined as possible. So we work nonstop. Couldn't agree more. Woken Free Nation, y'all know the deal. That's what it means to be woke and free. It means you won't give up on yourself. You won't give up on the life that you want for yourself, and you'll do it no matter what. So with that, I guess we just would love for you to share if you have any upcoming announcements. Definitely share those deets. But then also, again, what's the best place for people to reach you and to learn more about CocoMe Body Stick?
Yeah, my email is on the website, cocomebodystic.com. You can also find us easily on Amazon, where we offer a few combination packages, a little bit of a discount. So, and also we are up on YouTube and Instagram. So please show us how you use the body stick. We love to find out from our users what your favorite way to use it is, and keep the education going.
I love it. Awesome. Okay, well, yeah, we definitely will try it on JJ, and we will try it on ourselves because Mr. here has some eczema. So.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Yeah. Not that kind of day. But I will say that you did mention bug repellent, and I have been, every time I move, I get bit by a mosquito. And so, so if that works, I will literally owe you my life because, as an O positive blood person, they love us twice as much as they love other blood types. So I'm just riddled with, I go outside because I got to walk the dog, got to move the body, but I don't like the bug bites that come with that. So I'm excited to try it out for that. So we have multiple uses, so we can't wait to share our experience with it as well. And thank you for sharing your story with the Woken Free Nation.
Yes.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me here, really.
Absolutely. All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. You have a great night, too. Bye.
We are at that time again. It is the coming of the end of our 49th episode of Woke and Free. What a disaster.
Uh-oh, somebody else jumped in on that. I don't know who that was. Did you hear that other person here?
Evil
femme
version of you.
Our ghost real? Our ghost real?
Is madness real? Yeah, madness is
Woken
real.
Free Nation, you're going to have to go back to that episode because I think a ghost just jumped in on this Woken Free shout out we just did.
Lies and fairy tales, guys.
Well, go to the episode and find out are ghosts real because we heard a secondary voice there.
I wish you guys could see the face that I'm making right now. It'd really be, truly comical.
Me and you heard a secondary voice. That's all I know.
I looked at you as you sounded like a complete fool. That's what happened.
At that exact moment, I lost my voice, though.
No, you just sounded like our cat.
That's what's pretty crazy.
I know you deeply love each other, but...
Everybody, I'm really spooked right now. Right now.
Lies and fairy tale. And this was quite the episode talking all about the importance of what we put on our bodies. And we really greatly appreciate the sponsorship of product donation. Coco Me sent us some products, and you can see on the episode as well if you go to wokenfree.com. A special member of our family has tried out the product and really loved it. And so if you go to the website, you'll see who we're talking about. And we tried it as well, and we really, really loved it too. But I think you guys will get a kick out of the picture you'll see. So go to wokenfree.com to check it out. And will I leave you hanging for what our next episode is all about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be talking all about why everyone needs to watch the Star Wars film series. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for Woken Free Wednesday to join the conversation at wokenfree.com.
If you would like to be a guest on the show, please submit a topic for an upcoming episode and share how you feel on our Contact Us page on wokenfree.com. So that is WOKENFREE.com. And again, please don't forget, we are very active on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at Woken Free. So holler at us.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do, share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woken Free Wednesdays. Until next time.